Hey there viewers, my name's Torinski and welcome back to another DCSS Sunday. Today we're of course jumping right back into the usual routine, trying to get a win with every species in the game. And where we last left off, we've finally been able to get ourselves out of the doldrums of Felid with good old Cat Fonda. Very happy with how that run went all in all, and today we're going to be jumping right into the next species, into Barachi, and we're going to be trying that out. Hello, Tardret. Hello, Colgate. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, Tardret. Nice to see you. I hope you've been well. And you vote for Cinder Acolyte, Colgate? Can definitely put that on the list. I think first off, we're going to be going with Hunter, since that was the game plan from day one. But if that doesn't work out, we can definitely try out Cinder Acolyte and see how that goes down, because who knows what the dungeon has in store. So without further ado, let's just get ready to hop right into it, shall we? Clear out the name, and let us just hop right to it, as it were. As mentioned, I think we'll be starting off today with a Hunter start, and because I'm not that creative, I think we'll just start out with the classic. We'll go with a bit of Kermit action here on this lovely afternoon. And yeah, I guess we just have to get ready to get going here. So with Barachi, we have an extra little bit of line of sight. We see up to 8 tiles instead of the usual 7. This can be good for some things, but also can be negative because of course that's always twofold. Enemies will also see us from that far away, so we'll have to see how that all goes down. Additionally, we are a little bit slower than normal, move at I think like 1.2 per square, so definitely have to keep that in mind as we continue moving forward here. And last but not least, we also have strong legs, so we have a hop ability. It's kind of a nice little bit of counterbalance to the slow movement. We can use this hop ability. It's like a slightly inaccurate short range control blink. And so we'll see if we can't leverage all of that into some good news today. We'll of course also do a quick file dump here and bring that up on the side monitor here so that I can steal, or it can come up on my main monitor. That works too. Thanks, Notepad. Always showing up where we want you, blinding me in the middle of my sentences. But there we go. We can put that seed up just in case any of you lovely folk want to play along at home here. And with all of that prepped and out of the way here, I guess let's get ready to get going here, shall we? I'm excited to use the new ranged option here in an actual run for the series. Oh geez, it's a lot of new friends. Fortunately, we're a little bit better off than the Felids we've been playing recently. We have a decent amount of damage output. Still worried about the first adder we come across. Who knows how that's gonna go down. But for all of these regular monsters, we can kind of just sprint our way through it. Or as David mentioned, shoot and scoot, exactly. And we'll see how that all goes down. Perfect. I guess the other thing we have to be on the lookout for are any enchanted weapons, because you never know when a very early venom dagger might completely ruin your life and end your run. But hopefully we have a decently straightforward beginning here, give us some time to train up our archery just a little bit. And that should carry us into the end of the game here. It at least will allow us to go pretty quickly early on here, seeing as how we can mostly tab our way through all this nonsense. Let's head up to a slightly safer place. Oh, right, and no, I do not want to hop. In fact, let's just quiver our bow here so that I can do a little bit of active targeting. Ooh, we are going to have some troubles early on here, so we'll instead go for the quick hop and see how that works out for us. Fortunately, does give us a little bit of leverage here. Fantastic. At least not getting hit by both of them at once goes a long way. There are no adders in Basing Say. Oh, of course, of course. That's a great reference. Well, speak of the devil. Let's take a few shots. It doesn't go that well, so I think for the time being, So to say we'll just head to a different stairwell, this is not better. This is not, in fact, a better option. So let's take Sigmund upstairs and think about this for a second. I guess we could have tried to lead Sigmund away from the stairwell and then hop back to it, or at least tried to. Again, not exactly the most accurate thing. But instead, we have made our bed here, so let's just read a scroll here real quick, see what our last one is. I was hoping for teleport. Your Barachi has a bullfrog tile in 0.29. Isn't this 0.29 as well? It is. So interesting. Not sure what's going on there. Do you have any custom tile sets in general? But okie dokes, that did not work out super well, so let's drink a potion. We get curing. Okay. Also, thanks, Save It. There we go. We have our backups now for once things get going. Snoop Frog, love, Tadpole, just a little boy. Anthony Hopkins. Oh, okay, I see what you did there. Hasselhoff and Russell Crowe. Very good. Well, I appreciate it because I was already out of ideas after Pyramid here. Come in, you see quite the situation here, Sigmund. Can I get out of this one? I don't know about that, Manicure. It's going to be a bit of a hard-fought, not even victory, but just survival here, if we do manage to do so. I mean, confusion is not great. At least I do have this curing. And I'm too slow to actually run away from this son of a gun. So let's just start drinking here. We get resistance. That's not great. I think we might just have to go ham here and hope we make it through in one piece. And I mean, I'll take the double levels. That works for me. Definitely went a bit heavy in the consumables, just experimenting with everything. But we have identified curing and heal wounds. So we're in a pretty decent spot moving forward as long as we can, survive until said point. We have only the Feel tile change in our RC file. Interesting. Does it resist Sigmund? It must have, really. One of those potions we drank. And maybe I should have thought about this a second before fighting the Adder. Apparently, Adder stronger than Sigmund. Who knew? Well, that's less than ideal. Let's try and take a step back here. Because if I can just get a good hop. Or not at all. That works too. Oh, but Bat might have saved our life. Hold up. Get me the heck out of Dodge. Hey, there we go. Fantastic. A little bit of hop action never hurt nobody. Well, you find hunters need armor. Bows don't hit hard enough to stop more than 2 monsters getting at you. For sure. I was hoping for like some scale. Unfortunately, I don't think anything heavier than what we've currently got going has shown up, so we're gonna have to just hold out hope on that front. Have a wee bit of patience here. And see if that doesn't get us going. Here we go again against the Adder. See, that's much more what I was expecting the first couple times around. Definitely struggling just a wee bit here. We're still attacking slower than once per turn, so we have to keep that in mind whenever we're in these big fights, of course. Adders are higher on the top killers list than Sigmund, to be fair to them. And you know what? It does make a lot of sense. Early game poison is a bit of a nightmare. Even just a hobgoblin with a venom dagger is probably enough to end most runs. That's why you should just play Gargoyle, I guess. It's the only answer to adders. They're also much more common. I think that's a big part of it, because Sigmund is, pound for pound, probably more dangerous than an adder, but you're definitely going to run into adders every time, and you're also, I feel, much more likely to be like, an adder? I can take that. Let's go for this one. Much like we did there. As you can see, it only takes one good hit to kill them, so it is a bit unfortunate that it went so poorly the first time around, but not the end of the world. Why am I blanking on all my keys? There we go. It's not P for put on, it is of course capital W for wear. Okie dokes, and that is quite the welcoming party. Hello my friends. Come on, come all, line up nice and orderly here, appreciate it. Is Null still top killer? That's an interesting question, because definitely Polar Nulls used to be kind of the be-all end-all couple of your early runs. I mean, even Orc Priests are probably decently high on the list there. Though I may be a bit biased, seeing as how we just came out of a multitude of fielded runs, and oh gosh, the minute you see an Orc Priest, you know it's probably just about time to go. And yep, they are by quite a margin. That makes sense. And did we talk Frog Gods yet? We have not. I think one of my top choices here is to run into Che. I think I would like to go with Che. I always like worshipping Che on species that are already a bit slower, because then the negative aspects don't feel quite so bad, seeing as how you're already dealing with that same issue. So I wouldn't mind that by any stretch of the imagination. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be pretty open to what comes up here. I mean, Okawaru is kind of the boring choice, even though it's not quite as necessary these days without ammunition being a thing. I mean, heroism and finesse are just so strong on any kind of standard fighter character of any kind. Now this is a bit rough. I don't really want to fight the ogre, but I think we can take out the hound and then go for a bit of a hop, skip, and a jump. And you know what, maybe we will just fight you, I guess. That works too. Fantastic. There was a Rue altar, and Rue is also, you know, a pretty solid choice for any character. I think I will hold out for Che though. Not only is it one of my top choices, but I think that was what Ninth suggested to us for Barachi way back when. So let's see if we get it here in the economical altar. No Che yet. There you are, my friend. Fantastic. So I think we will go this route. It'll lead to really high dex, so really nice damage on our bow here, plus a few more escape options besides our hop, so that's always pretty fantastic. We also, just in that vault a second ago, got the +7 throat cutter here. So normally I've only gone the throat cutter after I'm already too far in the run to really bother switching over, but it's pretty hard to say no to a +7 sword here. And it is a long sword. Okay, that is good to take note of as well. So potentially we'll go that route, learn that at some point here. But for the time being, let's just kneel down to the one and only snail. Fantastic. And then we can just get going here. We'll be getting a decent amount of piety because of our slow speed. Everything is faster than us for the most part. And so that's one of the other nice bonuses here for moving forward on Che with slow character. Phantoms shouldn't be too bad on this character, but we'll still leave them by the wayside for the time being. I'll just walk up, let the necrophage come to me. Fantastic. And we'll just keep it rolling here and see how we fare. We also, I forgot to mention in my little recap, we have amphibious, so we're able to go in water without any penalties. So that should be really nice for certain stages of the game. You know, if we get swamp and shoals, definitely could go our way. And how the hop avoids opportunity attacks? It does. Yeah, one of the big advantages of it as a really sweet disengage. I mean, unfortunately, it's usually just to barely get out of range, and then you have to get back to fight anyway, because it's not like you're outrunning anyone. But definitely nothing to sneeze at on that front. White Imp, a little bit tough. Would need a big step from an enemy to follow hop. And that's a bit of a hard thing to get on Barachi here. There's our phantasmal friend once again here. Hello, hello, and perfect. It does go just about as smoothly as we were hoping. What a world of difference this is from our last character. Last characters, really, at the end of the day. Quite nice to not have to worry about things quite so much. We're just going to be blasting our way through the majority of kind of what I'd like to call standard encounters in the early game here. Still on the lookout for any scary uniques or things like that, but otherwise it should be just smooth sailing, which you love to see. And before I immediately start frantically fighting for my life. Confidence is a slow, insidious killer, of course, as always. So, we do have 2 curing. I think I will go with 1 now. 55% chance to hit you is not great. Probably not better odds with that. Unfortunately not. I mean, we could, I guess, go for a quick lickety-split hop. Doesn't quite get us there. Oh, never mind, it does. Fantastic. And speaking of hop, fun fact, Finnish law requires planting hop garden. What do you mean? Like every single individual, every single citizen by law needs to have a hop garden? Or if you're gonna have a garden, it better have some hops included. There's so many weird laws out there, though. It's an outdated law from the 1800s as non-forced. For some reason, it has not been revoked either. Yeah, there are plenty of those here in North America as well. I know quite a few states have very strange laws revolving around like rules for riding horses and things like that that are no longer relevant in the slightest in the modern day and age. But it's definitely a fun little tidbit, to say the least. There we go, the whites all taken down. Definitely made a decent little foothold in this level, and so we should, by all intents and purposes here, be able to just go back to blasting our way through. At least that's the dream. And my Sky Beast friend, you are a little bit tougher than I expected. Unfortunately, but there we go, fantastic. Across the board, Barachi have pretty decent aptitudes. We're gonna have to back away. In general, I should be able to face off against the majority of you, and it will in fact be a nice little surplus of experience here. So I don't mind that whatsoever. Fantastic. And let's even do a check. If this buddy's range is only 7, no, it does go up to 8. That is a bit of a shame there, but I guess all is well at the end of the day here. We'll just have to leave that area alone for the time, and we will most likely come back at some point in our journey here. Poor wizard. Sorry to see it, bud. I guess better you than me. But due to the decent aptitudes here on Barachi, we may find ourselves, after an unfortunate round of mini burp hiccups there, we may find ourselves learning some magic by the end of the run here. We'll have to see how it goes. Plus 10 Fire Dragon Scales of the Falcon. Corrode is not a great ego, but Evocable Blink, Arlec, the standard 2 pips of RF, Cold Vulnerability, and Positive Energy. Now that is interesting, especially since we don't want armor that's too heavy on our archery build here, because it will slow down our attack speed. But Dragon Scales? The light kind at least? That's not too shabby. Okay, and that's quite the welcoming committee here. We can definitely step back for the moment here. Say hello to some of our new friends. Are you the Knoll Shaman, maybe, next to me? Just in case, let's head upstairs here real quick. And fantastic. Might have just been one of the Orc Wizards, it looks like, which does make more sense, seeing as how I know that they have that on their spell list. But not too shabby here. Just blitz our way through, and some +1 scale mail. So this will slow our attacks, I believe. But let's see by how much, shall we? We head upstairs real quick and try that on. Also, fun fact in the law around the same period that requires you to keep house and standards mentioned in the previous section. The previous section was revoked in the 1990s. What does it mean? Do we have to follow it or not? 1.1 and is slowed by our armor. That's still not too bad. I'm pretty happy with 1.1 to get some extra AC out of the mix here, so let's just get back on the road, shall we? Perfect time for that RC. Hey guys, you missed the Fielded win, but just in time to see some hoppity-froggity action. Indeed you are, Necrohol. And probably not the end of the world that you missed some of the painful journey that was trying to get through with Fielded. But I am very happy that we did manage to get it by the end here. And fantastic. That was more orc priests than I was expecting. Fortunately, they're kind of dancing out of sight, so I'm not dealing with quite as many smites as we otherwise could be. But geez Louise. So maybe I spoke too soon. So we could die to a double smite. Let's play it safe here and go with the health potion just in case. Fantastic. Hey, we finally have to feel it. We are Subutex. It was a tough journey right up until the end, but we did eventually manage to get some progress in that regard, which I, of course, was overjoyed with, as much as I did enjoy the series. Sometimes it's nice just to have a modicum of HP again. We're already at as much health as we had pretty much at the end of our Feel It run, so fantastic. Let's just block off this whole venture for the time being, and we'll explore the rest of the level before heading back there. You gonna keep taking me up here, game? I guess that's fair enough. I may just have to do a little bit of this action then, and now we'll see where it takes us. Hopefully somewhere a little bit new, a little bit off the beaten path here. And we can come back for our electrical friends a little bit later down the road. Turns out it's quite the lake that they're living in here, quite the domicile. But there we go, cleared out everything except for our eel friends. I guess the other option is we could just do some of that. So, you know, at the end of the day, maybe we do want to go through this just a wee bit more. Always need to take a peek for that flame wand because it is pretty much a one-stop shop to taking care of all of those sons of guns. Scarf of Repulsion can be saved for later here. Cloak of Stealth is pretty dang cheap. It's also just 1 AC is the bigger bonus there. Oh man, I'm gonna be trying to mute for any coughs that I have today because I am just coming off of being pretty sick over the last little week here, and was hoping that it wouldn't inhibit my ability to talk too much today, but we'll have to see how that all goes. And we'll keep just steaming these heals. A bit of nice unagi here for our trouble. I'm mostly safe, not quite though, so let's get hopping, shall we? Very close to dead. Not exactly ideal there by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll just quickly heal up before heading once more into the breach. And this should hopefully go a little bit smoother now. Just a few more eel friends. And that should be just about it. Fantastic. New Lugano is pretty disappointing. Melvitation on Banish did not come up much. Because what else were you saying the other day? You mentioned that Banish comes earlier now, was one of the bonuses there, right? Has that been an appreciable difference, or doesn't feel too dissimilar from the usual routine? Okay, we can currently beat a centaur in ranged combat, which is definitely a good thing to see. Between our slow natural move speed and Worshipping Che, there's pretty much no shot we get away from a centaur. So that is just fantastic. And a Dagger of Venom. We didn't find the coup de grace here, or coup de grace maybe. Then we'd be a little more excited to see different enchanted weapons here, but still not the end of the world. And you know, Colgate, speaking of investing into Invo, that is something that we should definitely do on our end here as well, just to make sure we have all of Che's abilities up and running at some point in our journey. And we'll probably just sit on those for the time being. But you were mentioning that you need XP to invest in Invo anyways. Practically it did not come online earlier either. You know, that makes a lot of sense. That's fair enough. Okie dokie. Up to D8 now. We did just find our entrance to Lair, of course. Yeah, I was about to engage panic mode there, get our strong legs out and start a hip-hopping out of there, but fortunately we killed the sergeant just in time to not really have to worry about it here. And that is fantastic. Okie dokie. Take a quick break, take a sip of my drink. That's something I should also try and be a bit more diligent about today so that I don't accidentally give myself another sore throat here, or bring it back. Lacking Blink was more noticeable, so that felt like more of a nerf. Found Inescapable Atlas pretty early, so that did not come up much either, but more than upsides. That also makes sense. Okie dokes. Whoa. Why, hello there. This is quite the welcoming committee we have going here. I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe, just maybe, we found our entrance to Orc here, if I had to guess. Hey Katra, thank you so much for the 6 months Prime. I really appreciate it. Oh, it's always nice to see your name pop up. I hope you're doing well. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend here, what's left of it. Always just lovely to see you. And thank you again so much, really appreciate it. Okie dokie. We'll slowly start working our way through the crowd here. I mean, this is much more manageable to just get a few orcs at a time versus the whole kit and caboodle. Oh, Yak, I'm not actually sure how we fare against. Decided to try it, risk it just a wee bit there, and it's not too bad at the end of the day. Jump back, a little dangerous, seeing as how we did end up kind of going off into the unknown, and this orc is now going to be a real thorn in our side. It takes like 10 or 12 turns to get hop back, and I believe we're not even allowed to move during that time, so definitely need to play it a little bit safe there. We can do a quick check. How likely are we to charm, you sons of guns? 50%? I mean, 28 damage on you, 18 on you. 12 AC, I don't think we'll die in one turn. It could happen. But let's try for the charm. Fantastic. And... it's getting real close to safety. I guess we will drink our final HP potion here. Try to kill you. And then tell you, my friend, to just retreat in the opposite direction, please and thank you. And that gives us time to do the same in our own direction. Beautiful. Could have easily avoided that combat, but you were more interested in finding out how it would go than surviving. I guess that was in regards to you mentioned that you lost trying to fight enormous slime with low power storm form. Right, sometimes it's just too tempting to roll the dice and see how it goes. And Tyler, you've known me since June 2021. Yeah, it's hard to believe sometimes that I have been streaming for so long. I know, it's always been a pretty leisurely pace, so I guess it's not too surprising at the end of the day. But still, it's a fun little reminder. Glad that you're still coming around every once in a while to say hello. I do appreciate that as well, Tardrat. Stop moving. Right, if we wanted to recharge the hop, we definitely had to. In general, I probably shouldn't have, just because we were taking a bunch of free hits in the prospect. It always takes a little bit of play to get the muscle memory flowing properly. And okie dokie, here we go. Against you, let's actually prep ahead of time. Start off by getting the poison flowing here, seeing as how they are vulnerable to that. If we can get just one more dart, I mean, even just the slow helps out a huge amount there. Fantastic. And I'm curious, yeah, you were the buddy with the dire flail. I think you were the same. You remember when I always played Isaac? Yeah. That was back when Repentance was still fairly new, or at least new to me at the time. I actually very recently have been playing a little bit of Isaac off camera, because it's a nice easy game to just pick up for 10 minutes or so. And it had been too long since I played any Repentance. I've just been doing some kind of standard Isaac runs. And okie dokie. Do I dare? Demolitions Depot. Interesting. You haven't played in so long, so you forgot so many items and stuff? Oh, me too. Yeah, I barely remember what any items do, and I'm definitely going through entire learning curves all over again. But it's still a lot of fun. It's funny because I booted it up and there was a Bethany run that was already in progress. I was like, sure, I'll just hit continue. Won it no problem, went super smoothly. It was a really kind of satisfying win too, going through the dark side. And then I decided afterwards, yeah, let's just, go back to standard Isaac. I love the reroll. D6 is probably my favorite item in many ways, and I'm just playing horribly. I cannot get anywhere anymore. So definitely takes just a wee bit to get your play back up to snuff, but I am still enjoying it regardless, having a good time. But okie doke, so let's break our way into Lair here and see how it goes to start off. I wouldn't mind some poison resistance, or strength and intelligence I guess is fine. Not ideal, but fine. And okie dokie, against a pack of wolves, we'll just come right back to our stairwell and take you out the old-fashioned way. Oops, not with darts, but with arrows. Fantastic. Still concerned about that cane toad that we saw just over yonder, so that's not exactly ideal. Scorpion, on the other hand, should be totally fine. One thing we do need to do here is get IDing, since we have a heck of a lot of ID scrolls, so let's just burn our way through those sons of guns. Do some of that sweet due diligence and the aspiration, I guess, to survive just a wee bit longer here. Switch over to potions. Right, no haste, right. Always kind of forget that aspect of Che. But hey, that just makes inventory management a wee bit easier for us because we can drop that. You don't remember whether you've ever went to Lair at level 10? That's a good point. I think I probably have at some point during the series. It always surprises me though. Especially since in my head, Lair should always show up before Orc, just because that's generally the order that I do those routes in, or these branches. But there's no hard and fast rule, and in fact many a time that has not been the case. But it's still what comes to mind for sure. Let's charm you, my friend, get you to do a bit of the heavy lifting for us here. And in fact, that's kind of the win-win situation there. Steam Dragon and Arcane Toad friend take each other out simultaneously. Absolutely fantastic. And then we'll just bring you upstairs, my friend. Oh, actually, Rhyme Drake shouldn't be too bad for us, seeing as how we do have some cold resistance here at the very least.